Welcome back, everyone. So, as promised, after we finished Geronimo, we'd go back to the Critter Club. So, this is the second book in the Critter Club series, and it's called All About Ellie, and that's what we're going to start today. So, here we go. Don't mind my coffee maker, that's what's making the noise in the background. Okay. Now, maybe if I could see. Here we go. Chapter 1, starring Ellie. Okay, said Ellie, kneeling on her bed. Here's what I planned for us to do tonight. Her best friends, Liz, Amy, and Marion, had just arrived. Ellie was so excited. It was Friday and her turn to host their weekly sleepover. First, I can teach you this really cool dance I learned in tap dance. Ellie began, and after that, we can put on the play we made up at Lizzie's house. And, Ellie, hold on, Liz said with a giggle. We just got here. Yeah, agreed Marion. She unrolled her sleeping bag. All that sounds fun, but maybe we could relax and talk first? Ellie's face fell a little. She had been looking forward to this sleepover for, well, forever. After all, she only got a turn to host every 4 weeks. And being the host was special. It meant planning everything and being at the center of it all. Oh, said Amy, we have some Critter Club stuff to talk about, remember? Ellie got excited again. The bunnies, she cried. Right, said Amy. Our first animal at the Critter Club. I'm sorry, animals. There's more than one. Bunnies. Ellie and her friends had been working hard to get the Critter Club up and running. A few weeks ago, it was an empty barn belonging to Miss Sullivan, their new friend. Now, with the help of Amy's mom, veterinarian Dr. Purvis, it was an animal shelter. It had all been Mrs. Sullivan's idea. Before the Critter Club, the girls thought Mrs. Sullivan was kind of mean. They had been totally wrong. When Mrs. Sullivan's puppy, Rufus, had gone missing, the girls helped her find him. That was the Critter Club. That's when the Critter Club was born. You still don't know who left the bunnies? Marion asked Amy. Amy shook her head. No. There was no, Amy replied. Just 3 baby bunnies and a cardboard box. Poor things, said Ellie. How could someone just leave them? Amy shrugged. Mom thinks someone's pet rabbit had babies, and they couldn't take care of them all. Well, speaking of taking care of them, said Marion, pulling out a notebook, we should make a schedule. Marion was super organized. She was always writing down things and making lists. Ellie hopped off her bed. She sat on the floor next to Marion. In her notebook, Marion made a chart. So we'll take turns, said Marion. Each day after school, 2 of us will go feed the bunnies and give them water. Amy's mom and Mrs. Sullivan will handle the morning shifts. Seems fair, they have to go to school. All the girls agreed. Liz picked up a pen. She drew 3 little bunnies below the chart. We have to find a good home for them, Ellie said. They're counting on us, and we can't let them down. Then she jumped up. Okay, now on to other things. Ellie ducked behind her hot pink window curtains. She peeked out at her friends. Who's trying out for the spring play? She asked. Their school, Santa Vista Elementary, put on a play every year. This year's musical was called Miss Ladybug Saves Spring. We should all try out, Ellie cried excitedly. Not me, said Liz. I'm finishing my painting for that big art contest, remember? Liz was an amazing artist. Plus, you guys know I can't sing, she added with a laugh. Marion pulled her long brown hair into a ponytail. I'm way too busy to, she said. Homework plus piano lessons 3 times a week. Ellie sighed. How about you, Amy? She asked, but Ellie knew what Amy was about to say. Me? Get on stage? In front of people? And dance? No way. No, Amy said, shaking her head. Liz smiled a little smile. How about you, Ellie? Are you going to try out? Yes, Ellie squealed. She jumped out from behind the curtains. I can't wait. Have you seen the stage? It's so big. Do you think they'll have the spotlight on for auditions? Oh, what should I wear? What song should I sing? You guys have to help me decide. Liz, Marion, and Amy laughed. They settled in, happy to be Ellie's audience. Ellie was so good. They were there to cheer her on. I'm sorry, she was so glad. Oh, my goodness, I'm going too fast here in my own head. Ellie was so glad they were there to cheer her on and help her prepare. After all, that's what friends are for, right? Chapter 2. Ellie takes the stage. Backstage at the school's auditorium, Ellie looked at herself in the mirror. It was the big day, and Ellie was next on the list. Miss Jamison, the teacher who ran drama club, would call her name any minute to audition for the lead role. The part almost always went to a third grader, but Ellie felt she had to try for it anyways. Obviously, Miss Ladybug's costume would be red. Red is totally my color, thought Ellie. Ellie Mitchell, she said to herself, this is your chance. She fluffed her hair and smoothed her red dress. All her life, all 8 years, she had wanted to be a star. At 2 years old, she dressed up and did shows for her mom and dad. At 3 years old, she started dance classes. She remembered a video her mom took of her first tap recital. In it, she had bumped into another girl to be in the spotlight. Just then, Ellie heard Mrs. Jamison call, Ellie? Ellie Mitchell? It was time for her to take center stage. Getting the lead role would be her dream come true. You can do this, Ellie told herself. She hurried on stage. The stage lights were bright. Squinting, she did this. Squinting, Ellie could make out Mrs. Jamison in the front row. She saw someone waving from the back row. It was Liz and Marion and Amy. We're next to her. They had come to cheer her on. Ah, that's so sweet of them, thought Ellie. They're such great friends. Hello, Ellie, Mrs. Jamison said kindly. Whenever you are ready, I'd love to hear your audition song. Ellie took a deep breath. Her eyes locked on Liz, Marion, and Amy. She pretended she was in her own bedroom and that she was singing to them, just to them. The next moment, she was lost in the song. Her voice filled the auditorium as she moved to the music. She even threw in some twirls, leaps, and hand motions. It was over before Ellie knew it. Her last note hung in the air, ringing clear and strong. Then another sound filled the air. A wonderful sound. Applause. In the back row, Liz, Marion, and Amy were clapping like crazy. Ellie took a bow and waved at her friends. Chapter 3. VIBs. Very important bunnies. I think bunnies are important. The next day after school, the girls walked together to Mrs. Jamison's classroom. She had posted the cast list outside her door. It listed the roles each person had been given. There was Ellie's name, right on the top. Ellie was so excited and surprised. She was speechless. She, a second grader, would star as Mrs. Ladybug, the biggest role in the whole play. Liz, Marion, and Amy each gave her a big hug. Way to go, Ellie, Liz squealed. Ellie was in heaven. She was so happy she felt like she was walking on air. Then it slowly began to dawn on her. She had so much to do to get ready for the show. Weeks flew by in a flash. Ellie had never felt so busy before. Each school day during lunch hour, Mrs. Jamison held short rehearsals in the auditorium. Every Wednesday after school, they had a longer rehearsal. Ellie also had Critter Club duty 2 days a week after school. On Monday, she went with Liz. On Thursday, she and Amy went together. It was enough to make Ellie's head spin. Luckily, Marion had made Ellie a schedule. She kept it taped to the front of her homework folder. And that was just weekdays. On Saturday and Sunday, all 4 girls met at the Critter Club to feed the bunnies and clean the big rabbit hutch. One sunny Saturday morning, they were all in the barn. Marion sat on the floor with the bunnies playing around her. Is that the one we named Floppy? Ellie asked, pointing to the gray bunny. No, that's Fluffy, said Amy. She was hosing down the inside of the hutch. The other gray one is Floppy. Which other gray one? Asked Ellie. She opened a bag of wood shavings to make fresh bedding. Aren't they all gray? Liz giggled as she swept around. Very white. Oh. Liz giggled as she swept around. Very white. Oh, very white. I'm sorry. They named, I was trying to figure out what was wrong with that sentence. They named the bunny Very White, a play on Barry White. My bad. Here we go again. The light gray one is Fluffy, and the steel gray one is Floppy. Marion and Amy laughed. Leave it to the artist to have 3 different names for the same color, Marion said. Ellie felt badly that she hadn't known which bunny was which. She hadn't been there when Amy's mom had given the bunnies full checkups. Dr. Purvis had also taught the other girls the basics of caring for them. Bunnies loved to be pet. They were calm and gentle, but their nails could be sharp. Bunnies sometimes chewed on things they shouldn't. The girls could give them special chew toys. Can you imagine that? A special chew toy for a bunny? or carrots to chew instead. Amy's mom said that people looking for a new pet might not even think of a rabbit. It was up to the Critter Club to change that and find homes for their furry friends. But right now, all Ellie could think about was how much more play practice she needed. Ellie is very worried. Chapter 4. One-Track Mind. There was so much going on. Ellie made sure to keep her friends up to date on everything. She jumped at any chance to tell them all about the play. One morning, Ellie was walking to school with Amy. Amy was talking about her weekend at her dad's house in Orange Blossom. Orange Blossom was a bigger city near Santa Vista. Meanwhile, Ellie had a thought. She wanted to tell Amy about her costume for the play. It had long, flowing sleeves that looked like ladybug wings. The red fabric looked glittery under the light. When Ellie twirled around the stage, hello, Ellie, Amy was saying. Oh, Ellie replied. What did you say? I was telling you all about my weekend at my dad's, Amy said. I'm so sorry, Amy, Ellie jumped in. I was thinking about my costume for the play. She went on to tell Amy everything about her costume from head to toe. Ellie saw Amy roll her eyes. So Ellie kept on talking. She made sure not to leave anything out. Another day, Ellie was on the phone with Liz. I forgot our reading book at school, Liz says. Can I borrow yours? Sure, Ellie replied. Come over. Well, you're here. I can read you my lines from the play, and you haven't heard my part in the opening song. I'll sing that for you, too. And I've got to tell you what happened at rehearsal today. Actually, Liz said, I bet Amy has her book at home. Her house is closer. I'll borrow hers. Thanks. And she hung up. Guess she's in a hurry to do her homework, thought Ellie. 2 days later, at Marion's house, Marion was telling Ellie a story about her horse, Coco. Right in the middle of it, Marion stopped. Ellie, are you even listening? She asked. What? Said Ellie. What do you mean? Well, you were humming, Marion said. Well, I was talking. I was? Ellie said. She had been thinking about a song from the play. She didn't realize she had been singing it out loud. Ellie giggled. Oops. It's just a song from the play. Want to hear it? Marion frowned. Oh, she said. Yes, my story can wait. Let's hear your song. Okay, said Ellie, and she began to sing. If her friends couldn't be in the play with her, she was glad she could tell them all about it. So I'm going to end here, but I'm going to ask, what do you think is happening? Because I feel like the other girls are getting a little frustrated while they're trying to tell their stories. So what do you think? You let me know. And we will pick up on Chapter 5 when we come back.